Well, hey kids, how's everybody out there in YouTube land this evening, March 10th, 2019. So I don't know how well this is going to work. I have actually exceeded my my available data on my phone. So we may not be able to do a live stream tonight, but we're going to try it for right now and see how it works. Seems like it's holding its own. Time will tell. If it craps out, well then it craps out, and I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow or the next day. My billing cycle starts on the 12th, so if it craps out tonight, I'll see you guys on the evening of the 12th. If not, we'll do it tonight and see how it goes. So I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. Seems like it's working so far. Hey Rejects, how you doing, brother? How are you been? So, all right. A couple things. We're gonna be having a little fun this evening. I've decided. I decided that for one particular reason, because today would be my father's 100th birthday today. March 10th, 1919, my dad came into the world. He was born in Columbus, Ohio. Went on to become a graduate of Ohio State University in civil engineering. Went to work for Pan American World Airways 1943 and during the war, and pretty much worked for them his entire life, more or less. They put him on loan with different organizations from time to time. He worked for the state of New York for a little bit in conjunction with the airport authority for the Port Authority for New York. And then he also worked for Pan American World Services, which was the senior management group. Anyhow, Dad retired as a staff vice president of Pan Am in charge of property and facilities. That was, you know, he didn't fly or wasn't involved with the airplanes. He was in charge of all the facilities, the construction, all that kind of stuff. So anyhow, kind of interesting. So, do you have access to Wi-Fi on the harbor? I do not. No, do not have access to Wi-Fi here on the harbor except off my phone. Pan Am started in Key West. Yes and no. They had a base here, but actually, Pilot, their main base was in Port Washington, New York, where, if you remember, I spent most of the summer. That's where Pan Am flew their clipper ships originally out of New York, out of Manor Haven, which is a little neighborhood there in Port Washington. That was the original seaplane base. And in fact, when my father went to work for Pan Am, that's where they started. That was before Kennedy Airport was built. My dad was one of the engineers on hand when they designed and built all the facilities at Kennedy Airport. Pan Am and TWA were the two big carriers that sort of ramrodded the whole airport package that went in there. And in fact, where I lived there in Port Washington, on the, what would that be, on the east side of the peninsula, the Port Washington Peninsula, they had excavated all the sand from that point, put it in barges, and barged it around into and around to create Kennedy Airport. Kennedy Airport was all built on fill. It was all sand that was barged in and dumped there to make dry ground so they could build the airport on it. So anyhow, my dad's 100th birthday would be today. So to my dad, is my dad used to drink Ballantine ale. If you guys can remember Ballantine, he used to drink Ballantine ale. So Dad, this one's for you, son. Dad. He was a great father. He really was. So, and you know what? To all the dads out there, all you dads, past, present, and future, here's to you. Yep, my dad would be 100 years old today. Pretty interesting. 100 years old, wow. It's unfortunate he didn't live that long. He died in his late 70s. I guess that's 30 years ago. Wow. 20 some years ago. Yeah, a long time ago. And I won't say not a day goes by that I don't think of my dad. That wouldn't be accurate, but not a week goes by that I don't think of my dad at one time or another. Something will be said or done that will, make me think of dad or mom. But yep, today's my dad's birthday. 100 years old today. So how cool is that? Anyhow, let's see what I missed here in the chat. Who did I miss saying hello to? Hello, Rejects, Pilot, Steve Garrity, how you doing? Hey, Andy. And of course, now I'm coming around. Pilot, hey, Dan Carter. Thought I would say hi before going off to get groceries. There you go. Something I need to do. I haven't gone grocery shopping yet. All good here. Happy birthday, Dad. Thanks, Pilot. Cheers to Dad. Thanks, guys. Good. All right, cool. All right, so we're gonna have a little fun today. I decided to have a little fun with the live stream today. Gonna do a little bit of a fundraiser. Got some tequila. Anybody that hits my PayPal up and donates 10 or 20? 20. Yeah, 20 bucks. Anybody that gets onto my PayPal and donates 20 bucks or more, I will drink some tequila. I'm going to make that a little fundraiser, a little fun fundraiser for myself. Hit the PayPal up, paypal.me/Carl Brook. There's a link in the description down below, and I will have some tequila. So that's the deal. You want to see me drink some tequila? Hit up the PayPal tonight and we'll drink some tequila. So let's go ahead and get the party started if that's what you guys want to see happen tonight. If not, well, that's perfectly okay just as well. I'm okay with either way, but figured it'd be fun to do a little drinking game fundraiser this evening. And since I have the tequila, why not? It was a gift from one of my viewers who donated it, donated money and told me to go buy a bottle of tequila. So it wasn't his idea to do a fundraiser with it, but why the hell not? So sounds like fun. Anyhow, to paraphrase Mark Twain, the older I get, the smarter my dad is. Oh man, isn't that the truth? I just got notified you're live. Oh, I am. Well, good thing they told me. Hey, where are you at now? I am in Bukey Harbor Marathon, Florida. So that's where I am. Same place I've been for a while now. I was busy yesterday. Okay. All right. Well, yesterday was sort of an interesting day. You know, I went over and I live streamed from the seafood festival that was going on yesterday. And one of my subscribers had given me money to go to that. Said, hey, go over there and enjoy a nice lobster dinner or shrimp dinner or whatever. Well, I went over and was going to get the lobster dinner. I actually was getting in line to get to, and it was a long line. I was going to get in line to go get a lobster dinner because that was what the money was donated for. But then I watched some guy walk by me with a plate. And on a plate, he had some lobster and potato salad and a roll or something. I don't remember what else was on there, but the lobster was this like little tiny shriveled up, dry looking lobster tail. It did not look at all appetizing. At all. It looked like it'd been, left laying out in the sun all day. It didn't look like a diced broiled lobster tail. It just didn't look good. And I was like, yeah, I'm not spending 20 bucks for that. That's crazy. So I didn't, and I'm glad. I've had conversations with that individual. I'm glad he's not upset with me for having changed my mind. But then today on Facebook, another cruiser here in the harbor actually posted a photo of their lobster dinner that they stood in line and got. And she too, it was a female, she was really disappointed in it. It was nasty, she said. And then, I guess after that on the Bukey Harbor Facebook page, a number of other people also made comments about that, and that was the general consensus, is that the lobster was just not really all that good. So I guess the shrimp was a better deal, but I didn't really see the shrimp, so I just saw the lobster and was like, I'm out of here. But I guess the shrimp was the better deal, but I didn't see them, so I didn't get any. And of course today it's over now, it's just ending now, so hard to mess up lobster, but it sounds like they did. Oh yeah, you saw the picture, Andy. It was nasty. It was just dried out, shriveled up, gray. It did not look appetizing. It really didn't. And all you got was, for 20 bucks, you got half of a Caribbean lobster, which means, of course, you don't have the claw. Caribbean lobsters don't have the big claw like the Maine lobsters do. So all you have is tail, and it was a pretty small tail at that, maybe a half to 3/4 pound cull size lobster. So it was not great. It was not a great deal. So well, here's what it is. I'm glad I missed that, and I still haven't gone provisioning. I ordered Chinese food last night for dinner. Is what I had for dinner. I ordered Chinese food. Tail is good. Yeah, it depends on the tail. Anyhow, I ordered Chinese food, and I had that for dinner last night. General Chow's chicken with an egg roll and shrimp toast. And that's a good deal. That was a good deal. And anyhow, I had that, and then tonight I took the pork fried rice that came with it, and there was a lot of pork fried rice with it. I mean, a lot. Great big heaping amount. Anyhow, I threw that in the skillet and added a can of corn and a can of peas to it and stirred it around and made a little stir fry out of the rice, and that was good. That was my dinner this evening. So very good, very good, yummy stuff. So I got 2 meals, 2 dinners, 2 nice dinners out of that 20 bucks instead of 1 crappy lobster. So I did find out that Publix over here, the grocery store, I could go and buy for the same $20, I could buy 3, almost 4. They were $5.99 each. So, but I could buy 3 complete lobsters, not a half. For $20, you got half of a lobster. You didn't even get the whole lobster. You got one. They split it down the middle. You got 1/2. So, yeah, you weren't even getting a whole lobster for 20 bucks. Whereas they're $5.99 at Publix. And Publix, we all know how expensive Publix is. So $5.99 isn't even a great deal at Publix, but still, I could have bought 3 whole lobsters and had 6 times the amount of lobster meat for less than 20 bucks. And a little bit of propane. So that would have been the smart thing to do. And in fact, good to see you at Bob's and Laura's. Yeah, I stopped in and said hello. In fact, I may do that tomorrow. May do that tomorrow. So anyhow, what I miss here in the chat. So let's see here. It just doesn't go as far today as it did. No, it really doesn't. Nope. Atlantic red lobster is the only way to go. Yeah, well, rejects. In some ways, I kind of agree with that. The Caribbean lobster here is good. It's maybe a little sweeter than the Maine lobster, but I like those big red clawed lobsters. So I agree. You can't beat a good piece of tail. Cheap for lobster tail, at least around here. Yeah, Andy, that's not for the tail. That's whole live lobsters. Were $5.99 a pound. Whole live lobster was $5.99 a pound. So, so yeah, I could have put all the money into 1 lobster, I guess, or I think it was $5.99 a pound. Maybe it was $5.99 each. You know, I'll go tomorrow and I'll find out. Tomorrow I'm going to be going to Publix and I'll find out. So, been busy showing the boat a lot. So I haven't been able to go anywhere. Been cleaning up and getting ready for people, and had people coming and going. Have a couple interested parties. Have more people coming this week. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Guy just chilling in a little dinghy going by. Louisiana lobster, the crayfish. There you go. Yeah. Yep. We got a whole flotilla of dinghies going by, I guess. One just went by, and I guess there's another one going to come by here any second. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he turned. I don't hear him now. Some of my neighbors are getting their boats ready to take off. I guess there's a bit of a weather window. Addison Chan over here on 3 Penny Opera, they're going to be heading out. They're leaving for Cuba. Going to go to Cuba. In fact, Addison Chan just wrote a cruiser's guide. In fact, he's written 2 of them. He just updated his cruiser's guide for Cuba. So pretty neat that he wrote a cruiser's guide. So sunset's developing. I'll show you what some of that's looking like. Sun's getting down. We're getting some nice rays. I know we're about an hour later than usual time-wise, but you know that's because the clocks roll back. So or move forward or whatever. I made a beer run just before you're live. There you go. Oh, I did make a beer run, but that's all right. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. Okay. So you're good. All right. Well, anyhow, guys, as I said, we're going to do a little bit of a fundraiser tonight. So if anybody wants to hit up the PayPal, any donation going into my PayPal account tonight, I will drink some tequila. So if you want to hit up the PayPal, throw 20 bucks in there. I will. I'll hit a little bit of tequila. You guys can enjoy some of that. So, well, I don't know if you'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy watching me have some, I guess. But we'll just see how that develops. Oh, there's some of my neighbors coming right at me with their dinghy with the blue chap on top. Oh, they're heading right for me. They're gonna run me over. Maybe so. They're up here coming by. Yeah, pilot, $20 or more. That's right. No, she's good. She's good. Thanks. They're nice folks, huh? Offering to take Lily for a walk. I would have let them, but they look kind of frail. I'm afraid she would pull them off over their boat. So, $20 or more on the kitchen table, Martin. Okay. Are you sharing? I'm just a bit north of you. Oh, there you go. Oh, he's going to go visit him and share some of that, huh? That'll work. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we've got our first donation. All right, Steve. Wow, okay. So there you go. Got our first donation this evening. So thank you, Steve. As promised. Cheers, friends. And none of that lime salt nonsense. Just good old-fashioned Cuervo. Oh, thank you, Steve. Appreciate that, brother. Yep, anybody that wants to hit the old PayPal up, 20 bucks or more, I will drink a little tequila. Gladly. So thank you for that, brother. You know, I was talking to a fellow the other day, and he was saying how harsh tequila is. And it is harsh. I have, you probably, you hear me talking like that all the time, doing that. With my, I don't know if it's allergies or what, postnasal drip. I have no idea what it is. I've never spoken to a doctor about it, but I get a little bit of phlegm happening in the back of my throat from time to time. I'm going to turn you guys around so you can enjoy the view instead of me talking. And when I was up in Alaska, and I think it was a byproduct of the mold in my cabin up there, but when I was up in Alaska, I one night I had some of that phlegm from the back of my throat break loose, and it sort of got hung up in my lungs and my epiglottis, and man, I couldn't breathe. I could not get any air in at all. So it was, you can see here, Addison is putting his dinghy up. It's all right, Lily. He's putting his dinghy up on deck. It's okay, Lily. You can see him lifting his dinghy out of the water over there. That's one way to do it. He's using his electric winch on his main halyard and using his mast to pull the dinghy up and let it drain there for a while. Again, Addison's getting ready to head to Cuba. He's going to be going to Cuba pretty soon, so he's getting his dinghy up out of the way. Pretty cool. Anyhow, there's some of that view. Now I forgot what I was talking about. Oh well, couldn't have been that important. Tequila will do. Oh, that's right, tequila. So I had the phlegm break loose, and it got in the back of my throat, and I couldn't breathe. I mean, I was literally choking to death on it. I couldn't get any air in. I couldn't cough out because I couldn't get any air in, and I was in quite a predicament. And finally, by swallowing, I finally got it cleaned up, and so his dinghy hangs to the right. Yeah. Oh gosh. I'm gonna yell over to Addison when he comes back up on deck, and I'm gonna tell him that. He'll get a kick out of that. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. He really is. He's an interesting fella. Hey, Addison. Uh-oh. Trying to net something. Oh no, they dropped something in the water. Uh-oh. We may have to go rescue them. They dropped something in the water. Like she was trying to get a net to get something out of the water. I don't know. Maybe he's going to go swim for it. I don't know. Oh well, he's preoccupied over there. So anyhow, so I found that I get this this little bit of phlegm whatever at night in the back of my throat, and I decided the best way to deal with that is just a shot of tequila. A shot of tequila seems to clear my throat right up. It just burns that crap right out of there and makes me quite comfortable. So I go to bed with a comfort level that I'm not going to choke to death again like I did that almost at one time up here in Alaska. Sure enough, I haven't had a problem since, but I don't know how long I can continue doing that. So couldn't help myself. No problem, pilot. Hey Dan, how you doing? Course Cuervo is harsh. Try some high-end tequila. Well, that's true. Yeah, I could buy a little better, some better stuff. There's better stuff, but I kind of like my Cuervo. Kind of what I grew up on, you know. Water works well. Actually, it doesn't. I've tried drinking water at night and seeing if I could flush it out that way, and or my tonic waters, or you know, Diet Pepsis or anything like that, and none of those seem to have the same effect as the tequila. The tequila's got just enough harshness to it that it just sort of burns all that stuff out. Of course, it does give me a bit of a sore throat the next morning, because you're supposed to drink a little bit or sip a little bit. You're not supposed to gargle with it. I guess maybe I gargle with it too much. So anyhow, so just a reminder, anybody that donates 20 bucks or more tonight, I'm going to hit some tequila. So have a little fun fundraiser this evening, trying to generate some money. So, oh, there's Addison raising his dinghy up higher. I'll turn this around so you guys can watch what he's doing over there. See, he's got it all the way up on his bow. Turning it around. Now they're going to lower it a little bit. And he's going to get that secured. And then they'll lay the bow down over the front hatch. And that's how they're going to travel to Cuba with their dinghy up on the bow. See, now he's laying it forward. Easy as can be. Dog, quit knocking into the camera. Slide it back up against the mast. Probably going to want to close that forward hatch. Yep, closing the forward hatch. So, all right. Well, I got to get moved around here, guys. Hold on a second. My damn foot's going to sleep. Ah. What time are you leaving in the morning, Addison?
Not early.
Early? Oh, okay. Well, I hope you guys have a safe journey. And thank you for your kind words earlier today. I appreciate that. Yeah, it is what it is. Well, like I said, Addison's a good guy. Let me see what we got going on here in the chat. I'm sorry about my shakiness here, so. Hornitos, Malago, Patron. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them, Ralph, you're right. Joined in last night. It was nice that he got to see what I do for fun. Cool. I remember when I was young, my mom would give me 4 or 5 shots of whiskey if I was sick. Fixed me right up every time. Always, yeah. Good old homespun recipe, so. City girl, country heart. Where are you at now? Marathon, Florida. Okay. Had the shakes when I was in 2nd grade, but after that I was fine mostly. Okay. They would remove you from parents for that nowadays. Yeah, absolutely. You know, how crazy is that, right? How crazy is that? You know, you take some good old-fashioned historic cure-all, which alcohol has been, is, always will be. I mean, it's one of the few things that killed all diseases was alcohol. You know, nothing survives in alcohol. That's why they use alcohol to preserve species for long-term storage. Drinking a little bit of alcohol kills germs and stuff. It's a good antiseptic, antibiotic. It cured what ailed people, you know. But yeah, you're right. Do that today, and they'll have the kitty Gestapo out after you and throw you in leg irons and whatever else, what other nonsense. You know, it's kind of crazy, but unfortunately, that's where our society has gotten to today. You know. Kind of like that old saying about, you know, it takes a village to raise a kid. No, it takes mom and dad to raise a kid. You don't need a village to raise a kid. You need to get the village the hell out of the way so mom and dad can raise their kids. Good swat on the butt. Seems like it's fixed a lot of kids' problems. But you don't know how to do that anymore, so. Makes me feel funny, like climbing that rope in gym class. Okay. Climbing the rope in gym class made you feel funny? How is that? That's weird. Well, there's to you, Dad. There's your beer. Whoop. I throw it up there in my in my beer can. So anyhow, guys, remember, for those of you that just got here new, we're doing a little fundraiser this evening. Anytime anybody hits my PayPal up, $20 or more, you put 20 or more into PayPal, I'm going to drink a little tequila. Doing a little tequila fundraiser this evening. So, hearing the concords going off already. Oh, pretty cool. Any advice for a new father here raising 2 kids, Carl? Oh my gosh. Dinner was so good. Oh, thank you, Jahan. I so appreciate you rubbing it in, dear. Any advice for a new father here raising 2 kids? Wow. Any advice for a new father? Yeah, hold them close. Hold them close. Tell them you love them. No matter what the hell they do, you love them anyway. You know, I've got 2 sons and a stepdaughter. My 2 sons made a lot of mistakes there. Made a lot of mistakes. Absolutely. Wasn't there when they needed me the way they needed me. Can't make up for that. Done did, water under the bridge. Can't look back. No point in rehashing history. Got to look forward always. Always look forward. But if you're a new father and you've got a couple of young kids, my advice to you is hold them close, man. Make sure that they're aware that no matter what happens, no matter how, if one of my kids became the new Jeffrey Dahmer, I mean, if one of my kids was some sort of, Waco bombing terrorist nutcase, whatever, I don't care. You love them anyway. They're your kids. They're your kids. They're your responsibility. And they're your kids. And make sure that they're aware that no matter what they do, they can always come to Dad and say, hey, Dad, I fucked up. I need help. That's the key thing. You want them to feel free to know that no matter what they've done, no matter how bad it is, they can come to you and get help. Because if you're not aware, if they won't tell you what it is that they've done, you can't help them. And believe me, you're going to want to help them. As you get older, you're going to really be upset with yourself if you weren't there to help them when you had the opportunity. As I am upset having not been there for my kids to help them when they needed it. But, divorce and relationships being what they were, we weren't. It just wasn't. Lesson learned. It was a mistake. Now I know better. A little too late, but that's life, That's life. We learn and we gather experience by making a lot of bad decisions. Bad decisions leads to wisdom. But you got to make those bad decisions. In some ways, no, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. But in some ways, you just got to do what you feel like you got to do, but realize the price you may pay for that can be astronomical at times. Look at this dude, man. My hair is just all, I look like some sort of crazy fanatic out here. My hair was nicely combed and brushed before I came up, but the breeze and the towel and whatever kind of wiped that out. So it is what it is, kids. Let's see here. Just want to let you know dinner was so good. Yeah, thank you, Johanna, darling. So nice of you. Thanks, Pilot. One shot okay, any more is abuse. One shot meaning one shot of tequila, or one shot meaning one spank is okay, any more is abuse. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Ed. How much tequila you got left? Oh, probably half a bottle. So, Dan, answer every question. You'll learn something also. Raise your kids right so you don't have to raise your grandkids. Gavin, very true words. You can shape the present, but you can't reshape the past. Rejects, that's absolutely correct. That's right. That's absolutely correct. What is going on right now is absolutely in your control. Jeffrey was from Milwaukee. Okay. Learn from mistakes doesn't mean it has to be your mistakes. Well, unfortunately, Napoli, that just seems like the way it is. So, Chris Watson, his parents. My first wife, our 17th wedding anniversary in jail, my kid turned out great. The first wife spent our 17th wedding anniversary in jail. My kid turned out great. Oh my gosh, Pilot, sorry to hear that, man. I am sure there's a story to be had there, huh? Wow. Wowzers, huh? Yeah, how much tequila is left? Well, maybe not quite half a bottle. About half a bottle. About half a bottle. Plenty of tequila left. Should anybody want to hit the PayPal up, we will have some more tequila, so. Oh, man. Anyhow, pretty good day today. Had some people come out and look at the boat. Got my water jug back. Seems to be all in as good a shape as when I loaned it. This is my better jug. It doesn't leak. My other jug leaks a little bit. Of course, it was full when I loaned it. It came back empty. That's not a problem. I don't care. I'll go rinse it out, clean it out, and have my water jugs back. One water jug, 1 7-gallon jug. You can run the boat with just 1 7-gallon jug. I've got a bunch of these. Let me show you. I got a bunch of these 1-gallon jugs like this that I keep on board as well. I have 3 of those, and then I also have a couple regular gallon jugs of water. I always keep some on board and handy. So, but it's nice having the second water jug. That way, if I forget to go get water and I need to do dishes or something, I got plenty of water for that. So, I got called up from the National Enquirer about it. Uh-oh. Wow. You had a good party yesterday. Okay. You had a good party yesterday with it then. Well, I don't know about a good party, but I did drink some yesterday and this morning and this evening, this afternoon. Hey, you got to start early if you're going to drink all day. You really do. You got to start early. And that reminds me, something I need to talk about. The other day, I was having a conversation where I was talking about, I was responding to a comment actually that somebody made. And this person was saying how I am not your typical sailor because most sailors are out in their sailboat sailing and not just sitting in the back of the boat drinking alcohol in the evening watching a sundowner. And to that I called bullshit. That's not the case. There's 260 boats in this harbor, as you can see all around me. Everybody's here in the harbor. You know what? When it's sunset out, when it's nighttime out, when the sun is setting, is not the time to be out sailing unless you're making a crossing or traveling someplace. Most boats, most people when they're sailing, will spend a month or 2 or 3 at a harbor, and then they'll take a couple of days and they'll move to a new location where they will spend a month or 2 or 3 at a harbor. The idea that people, I think you eat a boat or 2. Well, yeah, I'm pretty fat, no doubt about it. But at least I'm not stupid. Sorry about that. Anyhow, so this guy was really offended by the comment that I made where I was talking about how cruisers sit in the back of their boats and enjoy their sundowners. They sit in the back of the boat and they drink a beer. Pilot, this one's for you. They sit in the back of their boat and they drink a beer called a sundowner. They call them sundowners. Why are they called sundowners? Good question. I'm glad you asked. They're called sundowners because the sun is going down. We sit here in the cockpit and we drink a cocktail. Now, I've been on sailboats in a lot of different locations in Alaska and in the Pacific Northwest and up by Seattle and, you know, here in Marathon, of course, everywhere between here and Sandusky as I came down, all the different places that were boats, Port Washington, Long Island Sound, Newport, yada, yada, yada. British Virgin Islands, you know, all these different places that I've been to on boats. And you know what? At night, in the evening, this time of night, as the sun's going down, people go and they sit in the back of their boat and they drink a sundowner. Now, this is not a derogatory concept. I'm not saying that all people that are on boats are a bunch of drunks. Some of them are. Some of them just enjoy a cocktail. Some people sit in the back of their cockpit and their idea of a sundowner is a cup of coffee or a glass of tea. It does not have to be alcohol. It's the idea, though, is to sit back and relax in your cockpit and enjoy your evening. Just looking at my camera, it looks like I got a rainbow, doesn't it, right there? Huh. Just looking at it from my perspective, it looks like there's a rainbow behind me. There's not. It's just the way the sun haze is forming over there, but I don't know. Looked weird. Looked weird from my angle anyway. Anyhow, so this guy had not heard the entire conversation. He didn't realize I was responding to somebody else. He only heard the part of the conversation where I was talking about how cruisers sit in their boats and drink beer, like I'm sitting here drinking beer. He took exception to that. He found it offensive. He thought I was saying something derogatory about cruisers. But here's the point, guys. He didn't hear the whole conversation. He only heard a very small part of the conversation. And the reason why I'm bringing this up and why I'm talking about it this evening is because I think a great deal of this troll issue, these trash people, I think a lot of it stems from people not understanding the entire conversation. They hear a snippet, or they get on my channel and they watch one episode, and they just assume that's my channel. People, please don't do that. Don't do that. Don't read one paragraph out of a book and think you know the book. Don't read one page and think you know what the book is. Don't watch one episode of my channel and think that's the whole channel. And don't listen to 2 minutes of my video and think that you understand what's going on, because you don't. There's a lot of other things going on here. In that particular case, I was responding to someone who was trying to make a claim on my channel that cruisers spend more time sailing than they do hanging out, and that's simply just not the case. That's simply just not the case. People aren't moving continuously Okay, I've been 90 days here in the harbor, going on 120 days. Pretty soon it'll be 4 months. And in that time, um, well, Chan, Mr. Chan, who's right here behind me, was here when I got here. Um, Bill, as you know, just left, but boat over here next to Bill on this side and the boat on that side of Bill on that side, those were all here when I got here. These people, I mean, so people are here and they spend months here. There are people here in this harbor who have spent years in this harbor. Diesel Don, perfect example. He said today he's been in this harbor like 17 years or something, and he hasn't gotten out of South Florida in 17 years. So he's finally now going to retire and start heading out. There's a lot of people. Mike over here, Mike's been in the harbor 7, 8 years, been living on his boat, hasn't gone anywhere. There's a lot of people that live here in the harbor. It's not bad. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's a community of people that hang out here. Just because somebody sits on the back of their boat and drinks some beer doesn't make them a bad sailor. It doesn't make them any less of a sailor. You don't have to pull your sails up and go running around like a chicken with your head cut off every day to prove that you're a sailor. If that's your litmus test, then you're sadly mistaken. Anyhow, so this guy's comment was, oh, well, you were pretty rude to the cruisers here because you made it sound like all we do is sit in the cockpit and drink. Well, the majority of the time, that's what sailors do. They sit in the cockpit and they tell stories and they have a good time. They socialize, they drink. There's a reason why everybody equates rum with sailors, and that's because that's what a lot of sailors do. They sit in their cockpit and they have rum concoctions and they enjoy sitting on their boat and enjoying the passing of the day. That's not a negative thing. In fact, that's quite a positive to a lot of people. I'm sure there's a lot of people out here on my YouTube channel right now, the 102 people watching, I'll bet you there's 30 or 40 of them that would love to be sitting here on the back of the boat drinking a rum drink. You know, it's not a derogatory thing. So the point is, guys, don't listen to just a little bit of the story and jump to conclusions. Okay, know what you're talking about. If you're going to shoot your mouth off in a public forum, if you're going to make a comment on a public forum, try to know what you're talking about before you do that. Because all you do is make yourself look foolish in the end if you don't. And I guess that's the best way to end that. So, okay. So I'm still looking for my second donation for somebody so I can drink some tequila. I would like to have some tequila, guys. So hit up the PayPal. 20 bucks will get me another shot of tequila, and we can get on with our evening here, going, seeing what we're going to do. But in the meantime, let me see what I missed in the chat. Wow, a lot. Okay. Wow, I got to go way back here. Okay, wow. Okay, Mary Jeffrey's sister. I think that's about where I was at. Okay. Nope, but death was involved. Ahoy, Carl. Hey, Mark. How you doing? I had to exhume a body for the Waukesha County DA. Well, that's not fun. I like a good sundown. Yes, I do. How is it like sleeping on a boat in a storm? It's fine. It's like sleeping in a cradle, man. Just rocks you to sleep. It's quite nice. What beer am I drinking? I am drinking salt beer tonight. Salt Life Lager. It's actually made up in Jacksonville, Florida by, I think, the Bush Brewery. Although it's not half bad. It really isn't half bad. Okay. The chat jumped, so I got to go back. Okay, there you go. One picture is not the movie. That's right, absolutely not. There's a bigger and better part of society just waiting for something to offend them. Well, that's true, Martin. Yeah, people are just looking to find something to get pissed about. Raise glass, Carl. Everyone bottoms up. Well, thank you. You catch any fish, Carl? Not in a while. No. Can you elaborate on the misunderstandings? Well, I think I did. Okay. Choose good life. I'd go down on you. Life, I'd go down. Okay. Rejects, that's a little weird. Down one with you, I mean. Okay, man, you had me worried there for a minute, Rejects. Drinking beer is relaxing, and I can only bet how amazing it is sitting on a boat watching the sunset. There you go. I read one paragraph of Romeo and Juliet. Everything worked out in the end, right? Cruise can take a beer break. People need to chill. There you go. Sitting in the harbor and having a drink. I'm in with that, right? Right? Okay. Yeah, so you guys obviously get it. You guys obviously get it, so thank you for all that. Cool. 17 years in the anchor and you're not a sailor. Sorry, Don. Yeah, right? Carl, sunsets are cool. Yeah, I love sitting here in the cockpit and drinking a beer and watching the sun go down. You know, I think it's a great way to spend an evening, you know, frankly. I guess the dirt dwellers version of that would be you could go out and sit in your back patio and watch the sunset if you could. Didn't have a bunch of trees or whatever in the way. I don't know. So we'll see. But anyhow, so we're doing a little fundraiser tonight, guys. Anybody that hits up the PayPal, $20 or more, we hit some tequila. So go ahead and jump in on that if you could. Yeah, right. Rejects had me a little worried there too. God, spell check's a son of a gun, isn't it? Oh, man. Anyhow, had a good day. Threw the stick for the dog. She had a lot of fun chasing that. Had an audience today with the Seafood Fest going on. The guys at the security gate were watching Lily and I as we were throwing stick, and I could hear their conversation. They were talking about us, and the guy was telling the other guy, he goes, yeah, he's going to grab a stick and throw it for the dog. Before I even got in there, the dog was jumping up, bouncing around, trying to find her stick. And they had fun watching while we threw the stick for a while and got the dog some exercise. Anyhow, got back with that, got back here to the boat. Had a few people stop by. I've got some items I'm trying to part with to get off the boat, stuff I don't need. Things that, you know, aren't good, haven't worked, I haven't used, haven't needed. So I'm trying to offload some stuff. So I had some people stop and pick up some things today. Got my water jug returned. Oh, what else happened that was exciting today? That's pretty much it. Showed the boat to a guy, pretty nice guy. Waiting to hear from that. We'll see. So anyhow, that was our day today, man. That was all of our day. So. Nope, did not see any sharks. Carl, you sell the boat. We'll miss these evenings. Sorry about my type earlier. Rejects. That's all good, brother. It's all good. How do the tropical lobsters feed themselves if they don't have claws? Martin, they have really small little claws, little tiny claws on their arms. So a boomerang that doesn't return when you throw it is a stick. See any sea turtles? Yeah, I do see some sea turtles from time to time. I've actually had turtles right here in the harbor. Sometimes you'll see their nose pop up to breathe, and they'll have some air. So, in fact, when I was earlier today, as a matter of fact, coming back from taking Lily for her run this morning, while in the dinghy coming back here to the boat, we've seen a turtle right off the side of the boat. I saw kind of a movement off to my right side. I turned and looked just in time to see a turtle turn up and dive down, seeing his little fins, you know, going away as he swam away. So, yes, the lobsters do have, they do have antennas, if you want to call them that. They do have, you know, antennas that they use to feel their way around and stuff, so. Well, anyhow, kids, listen, it's getting dark here. It's getting hard for me to see, probably hard for you guys to see me and for me to see you. So I think I'm going to go ahead and end this for this evening. I've enjoyed talking with you all again, once again. And, you know, I appreciate the donations. Sadly, we only got one person buying me some tequila tonight. So kind of hoping we'd have more than that. But, oh, well, it is what it is. Not much of a fundraiser, but maybe we'll try again tomorrow when we have a more cooperative audience, maybe. I don't know. In any event, you know, if you are one of those people that's all upset because I said cruisers like to sit in the back of the boat and drink beer, guys, I didn't say that as something mean or derogatory. I considered it a compliment. I enjoy sitting in the back of the boat watching the sunset. There you go. Watching the sunset and drinking a beer. Wow, I just saw a shooting star. Just saw a shooting star. Cool. There's the moon. You can see the moon, just a little bit of sliver of the moon up there. That shooting star was like right up in that area. Just saw it flash a second ago, and now it's gone. That was cool. Still hear the occasional conch horn blowing. Do we have to keep you here? Didn't say I was going anywhere. Make a wish. There you go. When you wish upon a falling star. Lobster tastes good with key limes and stuff. Okay. FM, AM antennas, 102 watching. Okay, they have antennas. Right. Okay. All right, kids. Well, listen, I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, wait a minute, folks. Wait a minute. We have a new addition. We have a new arrival here. Sorry about that. Let me just check that. And... Yes, thank you very much. All right. You know who you are. I'm not going to say, but thank you for the donation. It says right on here not to say my name, so I'm not going to say your name, but thanks for the donation. Good old Cuervo. And now I'll sleep soundly with a clear throat this evening. So, anyhow, kids, listen, be good. Aw, hi, Lily. You give me a doggy hug. You give me a doggy hug, huh? Anyhow, guys, be good, be careful, take good care of one another. Thanks for watching this evening. Remember, in the description down below, there's a link to my PayPal should you want to contribute to the adventure. There's a second link down below that one, actually also for PayPal, where you can go get a PayPal prepaid card. You put $40 into your PayPal account, and PayPal will give you an additional $20 for having opened up your PayPal card. And they also give me $20 for having taken the time to ask you to do that. So go ahead and take advantage of that opportunity. How else can you put $40 in and get 60? You put in 40, you'll have 60 bucks in your account. You put in 40, they give you 20. That's a hell of a return on your investment. It's a good deal for you. So anyhow, think about doing that, and it'll help me out. It'll help you out. Anyhow, tequila belch. Wow, that was fun. Anyhow, guys, be good, be careful, take good care of one another. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for